Hey, it's Patrick from Champion Cycles, and today we're going to talk about optimizing your throttle progressivity using your Fuelpak FP3 from Vance and Hines. Now, if you have a late model bike, you more than likely have an electronically controlled throttle from Harley-Davidson. Starting way back in, I believe, around 08, they started using electronically controlled throttles. What that means is you don't have the two physical cables going from your handlebar down to your carb or throttle body anymore. It's actually wires inside your handlebar that are operating on a sensor, and it's sending a signal to your ECM on how much to open the throttle blade and how much fuel to squirt in there. And one of the common complaints among electronic throttle users are a sluggish throttle. And that's exactly what we're gonna show you how to fix today. You can do it all through your FP3. The FP3 has a ton of functionality. Today we're gonna concentrate specifically on crisping that throttle up and what settings are in there and what you can do to tailor them to your ride. The first thing you're gonna need to do though is make sure your FP3 is plugged in and your ignition's on. And we're gonna open up the app and get to work. You get the green check mark, you know you're connected. We'll go on into our app here. And from here, you're gonna go to Map Optimizations. In Map Optimizations, you'll see throttle progressivity up here on the top. We'll go into there. And now you get this wheel. And there's a couple ways to do this. So Vance and Hines has some pre-programmed throttle options in here. And the donut with the least amount of space filled up is your standard setting. That's your normal throttle. If you want it to be a little more aggressive, you can progressively go up until you get all the way up to what would be basically instantaneous throttle. You see race 1-to-1. They don't really recommend that for the street, but it's going to be a very aggressive throttle. Something to remember about this is going to affect fuel mileage. How aggressive your throttle is, how quickly that comes in through that electronic throttle is gonna affect fuel mileage. But if you wanna go a step further, you can go into custom. Put on a little gear, hit the cross wrenches, and you'll get some other options. First one is primary throttle control. As your throttle starts to open, this is the control. Up here is the percentage of throttle, and here is the RPM. And this ratio in here, as it increases, you can go in here and change these numbers. And as that increases, that's going to affect how your throttle operates. And that's up to you, how you like that. You can go in here and mess with that, but it is going to make a difference. If we go back, you see secondary throttle blade control. This is exactly what it said. As it switches gears inside the electronic throttle, this is the secondary part of that. Same operation as first. Here is the switchover gear ratio. This is how fast it goes from primary throttle blade to secondary throttle blade. And you can make those adjustments right in there. Throttle limit versus gear. So you can actually put limits on how much throttle can be applied at what gear, or in zero would be neutral. If you don't want your bike to be revved up way high with no load, you can limit the amount of throttle input by gear. Once you've selected your throttle progressivity, you need to go back and flash the map to your bike. Right up here, hit the little lightning bolt, follow the instructions, and then you're gonna have to do a series of turning the bike on and off. So now we're gonna turn the bike off for 30 seconds. Now we'll go ahead and turn the bike back on. Just like that, you're all done. Again, this is just another function of the FP3, which is a super functional unit, and we're gonna keep breaking these down. We have a ton of other videos showing all the functionality of FP3. Go ahead and check out those descriptions. I'll put those links in there. As always, if you have any questions, drop us a comment. Go work on those motorcycles.